Hi, welcome to CDC Lost Media. This is your host, Chiva. I'm going to do Pickems for the canceled final weeks of Latias division. For context, the ADV side draft was supposed to be 9 games across 5 weeks. This week was supposed to be the 9th game, but the mod team started taking Len pills and just did not want to look at ADV anymore or just think about it. So here we are. I asked Maki if they wanted to do this with me, but there was a miscommunication because I did not know that the final week was canceled. So they thought they were going to do the first week of playoffs, and they didn't want to do pick'ems for a week that's never going to happen, and I didn't want to do playoff week because I didn't make playoffs, so why would I care? And I already spent like 30 to 45 minutes making the Iron Jet dock, so I'm just going to do this by myself. We were going to do it over this weekend, but instead it's just going to be us plus Len going to ice cream instead, which I'm honestly really excited about. Because the place we're going to is like a fancy bougie ice cream place. They have normal stuff like vanilla and chocolate and whatever, but it's like has really pretentious names like Double Fold Vanilla, and they also have pretentious flavors like honey lavender, Marion berry sorbet, honey balsamic strawberry with black pepper, like olive oil, like stuff that Americans, like trashy Americans, probably think is exotic, quote unquote, but like any culture that like has those flavors normally, like I'm sure any major olive producing country like Italy or Greece probably just has natural, like they have naturally flavored olive oil desserts, and it just sounds like a bunch of Americans being dickheads, be like, ooh, look at how fancy this olive oil ice cream is, or whatever. So anyways, to start, since I'm so vain, we're going to start with my game. I have Celebi, Dugtrio, Dragonite, Houndoom, Jinx, Blastoise, Kangaskhan, Diglett, Metang, Ghastly, and Ammonite. And Arian has Raikou, Moltres, Vaporeon, Venusaur, Linoon, Steelix, Articuno, Shedinja, Smeargle, and Ampharos. And my thoughts whenever I build for a team this league was just, what does Dugtrio trap? And we just go from there. Like, Raikou is like prime for Dugtrio trapping. Like Steelix probably doesn't love getting trapped because if it gets chipped at all. And I mean, you can say that for fucking everything because it's Dugtrio. And even Moltres and Articuno aren't really bad for Dugtrio because Dugtrio can just rock slide them, so they're gonna switch out so they don't just immediately die to a bunch of pebbles. I think the scariest thing on Arian's team is Linoon, to be honest, because it can just extreme speed and kill Dugtrio. And if it gets that one magical term of Belly Drum, like there's no fucking way I don't just lose on the spot to it. Like I would have, like if we're gonna play this normally, I'm bringing Ghastly and Metang, because those are like the two Mons on my team that maybe couldn't stand up to a boosted Linoon under spikes. Maybe. Because Ghastly's obviously immune to extreme speed, and if Linoon's packing anything but hidden power ghost, it just walls it for days, I think. I don't know this fucking thing's move pool. I also don't know its speed stat, but I feel like Ghastly outspeeds Linoon. Like, Ghastly has not awful speed, and I think Linoon's speed is like not fantastic. It's just covered by the fact it has extreme speed. That being said, I'm also worried about Shedinja and Smeargle, because I have the Pursuit Trapper of all time in Houndoom, and Diglett and Dugtrio can just aerial ace and HP Ghost or whatever it. But I still think like I would have to bring a lot of shit to hit it with. I can't just be like lazy about it. You always have to think about. I feel like you always have to think about Shedinja team building, and then Smeargle, like, what the fuck is like if Smeargle gets like, I even think even 2 layers of spike and I just lose to boosted Linoon, which is not great. Also I got Blastoise. I free agent traded my water spinner for another water spinner, and I started winning with Blastoise, unlike with Tentacruel. That also could just been I was winning more often because I was just getting lucky with crits and stuff, but you know, I believe in Blastoise, the blue collar worker who just has above average stats that's just gonna click the very solid moves. So I feel like this game is just Arian brings in Linoon, clicks belly drum, and I lose. I just have to like not let that happen, which is like hard because it'd be pretty easy to do that against me because look at my team. Anyways, we're going on to the next game, which is Temple versus Len. Temple has T-Tar, Swampert, Magneton, Nidoking, Tauros, Hitmonlee, Gligar, Exploud, Golem, and Kingler. And Len has Suicune, Zapdos, Claydol, Registeel, Quillfish, Camerupt, Medicham, Crobat, Coughing, Ditto, and Masquerain. And honestly, I don't know really what to think about this game. Len's Registeel put in work this season. Like I've consistently seen that thing like win games single-handedly for Len. It seems like Len's team is like I feel solid against T-Tar. Like you have Claydol, you have Registeel. You even like you can't really bring camera up here. I don't think with Pert and maybe even T-Tar really, but I do think this team is like adept enough at dealing with Sand Chip that it's not going to be that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean Len for hating ADVs just I think he made first seed or like he was top cut. It was top cut of playoffs. I don't know. But he did way better than he thought he would. I don't know how often Kingler was brought, but I love Kingler just as just like it has a stupid high attack set and also knockoff. I don't know. I think it would, well, you have Zapdos, so probably not. But I feel like it could do some work. It does threaten a lot of Len's team. I feel with just knockoff, and then you have Water Step or Camerupt and Claydol, which again you're not going to do it for Camerupt, but whatever. I also think. Wait a minute. What the hell does this team do against Medicham? To be honest, I feel like Medicham like puts in some goddamn work against this team. I think the only problem is that like Pert's here, and Len doesn't really have a massive concrete answer to Pert. But I think you can still like win. I think Len has the advantage on this team mostly. I mean, Magneton. Is Magneton really gonna do much against Registeel? I don't know. I don't know what the calcs are, but I feel like you would need massive chip on Registeel for you to trap it effectively, and not just get EQ'd in return. So I think I would give this game to Len, but Temple could obviously prove me wrong because the T-Tar Pert team is like. I don't think it can ever be bad. The next game we have is Tog versus Ren. Tog has Metagross, Breloom, Charizard, Donphan, Weezing, Lantern, Banette, Umbreon, Glalie, and Wishcash. And Ren has Snorlax, Alakazam, Armaldo, Amistar, Entei, Credilli, Haunter, Pikachu, Aggron, Slacking, and Xatu. obviously, the biggest worry for Ren is Pikachu into Lantern. The hardest counter I've ever seen in my life. That's no, yeah, because fuck, is Lantern get Volt Absorb or? I think it gets Volt Absorb. I don't. I think the Water Absorb is a future hidden ability. Ah, fuck, never mind then. I don't remember which one it was. So anyway, I mean, my immediate brain, my immediate thought is just Snorlax into Metagross probably isn't great. I don't know. I think Breloom into Cradily is kind of funny. I don't know. You press focus punch a whole bunch of times and you probably win. I just focus punch is just the greatest thing I've ever seen in Gen 3. I would just run focus punch. I would just run banded focus punch on Breloom and Charizard. Just say fuck it. We don't need any of their like outside utility that makes them good mons. Just focus punch everything. Just say fuck it. I mean, 5 of Ren's mons are weak to fighting, so I would just press that button. Ignore the Xatu, Haunter, and Alakazam. They don't matter. Is there anything that like stops Glalie from getting spikes up at this team? No. I mean, Armaldo has is a pretty good rapid spinner, and I don't know if you need. Oh, Alakazam has knockoff anyways, but I don't know. Do you really want to knock off like a Metagross, like Choice Band or lefties? I mean, I think that's important, probably. I mean, it's always important, but I don't know if you want to sacrifice your big stupid button. So I don't know how to analyze this game. What the fuck is it? How do you analyze advance? I don't know. I'd fucking give it to Tog. Just focus punch and choice band explosion. Just fucking win, I guess. Next we have Final Crusader versus Maiko. Final has Salamence, Gyarados, Blissey, Blaziken, Sceptile, Scizor, Dewgong, Torpedo, Mr. Mime, and Sunkern. And Maiko has Starmie, Fortress, Jolteon, Dodrio, Dusclops, Regice, Rhydon, Kingdra, Dunsparce, and Combusken. This is on Paldea Desk, which is why the speed tiers are a little bit fucked up. Let me go change that real quick. How is that the only match that wasn't under advanced? Hold on. There we go. Now we're cooking. So I don't know if Final has ever brought Sunkern, but it's a fake week that's never going to happen. So if you ever just get bored and schedule this, bring Sunkern Final. Final just gave up. Not gave up, that's very rude, but he didn't show up to the last, I guess it wasn't the last, it's now technically the last week 4, but he didn't show up, so no, it wasn't week 4, it was week 3 that they didn't just show up. Did he even show up in week 4? I don't know. Probably not. Sorry, Final, you did show up. That was pretty rude of me. So, is there anything on Final's team that brings spikes? No, because this is the physical offense that doesn't have spikes, so you don't really need you don't need to put Rapid Spin, I don't think, on any of your mons. I mean, unless for like Subseed, Sunkern, and Sceptile, maybe that's useful to you. But you can free up a slot on Starmie. You can go Bandit, Explosion, Fortress if you're based. Dodrio is honestly like a really scary cleaner. I didn't realize how this. I mean, I realized how fucked up this mon is because they took it before I could get to it. But Dodrio is fantastic, I think. I don't know. I think actually it's gonna be a little bit hard for Michael, I think, to break Blissey. I mean, you have Dodrio and Rhydon there, so maybe not. And also Combusken's there too, So maybe it's like not that hard to, not impossible to break Blissey, but a lot of your mons like Kingdra, Starmie, and Jolteon are just like special attackers, and you might not, and it might be a little bit hard to break Blissey. And you know, you have your double Intimidate core of Salamence and Gyarados, and that, I mean, Rhydon kind of just fucks up both of them a little bit, but not really, because they have, Gyarados has Stab Water to hit you with, so maybe that's not that big of a deal, but no, it's gonna be, I think Michael is gonna have like a pretty challenging time. It's gonna have a challenging enough time to maybe break through Final's team, while Final can easily just press dumb buttons against Maiko. But I think I'd give this to Maiko, but it's not, or sorry, to Final, but I can see Maiko pulling this off. I don't know if Sharpedo gets anything else besides Rough Skin this generation. It has to. I don't know if it gets Swift Swim. If it gets Swift Swim, I would just bring it anyways for Kingdra, because that'd be pretty funny. Mr. Mime also does some crazy shit as a lead. It cooked against Maki that one game I saw Final, so I don't know. Again, I'd give this to Final, but Final, you better cook hard against this team. And last but not least, we have the Virizion City Girl Civil War with Maki versus Faith. And Maki, of course, has Skarmory, Milotic, Flygon, Heracross, Espeon, Kabutops, Mischievous, Electabuzz, Murkrow, Grovyle, and Delcatty, while Faith has Gengar, Aerodactyl, Cloyster, Hariyama, Executor, Marowak, Gorbis, Scyther, Absol, and Piloswine. I'm just gonna just cheat and pretty much parrot back what they kind of briefly went over during PRs in this Pickems. So I think Maki like has the tools to handle like the offensive juggernaut of Hariyama, Aerodactyl, and Marowak with basically just Flygon and maybe some other mons that exist on Maki's team. But, you know, again, if Hariyama just clicks knockoff against Flygon, you're pretty much just toast. So, I think, you know, Maki has the initial advantage, but, you know, with Faith actually playing this goddamn tier and, you know, just a long war of attrition, I think you can just force your way through Maki's team. And, of course, by Maki's team, I mean Flygon, because I don't know what else could handle these monsters. I mean, no, Skarmory's not. I mean, Skarmory is an answer, but it's not great. It's probably a good secondary answer to the scary threats. I don't know if Heracross can really get footing into this game. I think Heracross probably. No, I think Heracross can probably get into this team, but get into the field and maybe click some buttons, do some damage, but it might be a little bit hard. And I don't know if you can really do that with like a bunch of fighting switch-ins and bug switch-ins. I mean, you know, I don't know if Heracross might get in, might do some damage, but it might be useful. Its utility might not be fantastic. Looking at these features, I never realized how like fast Maki's team is. Like, there's not really a slow mon. If Skarmory's your slowest mon, like, you're doing pretty damn good. I like the pseudo weather war between Kabutops and Executor. I think Executor wins that 1v1 like 100 times out of 100, but it's gonna be really funny if we had manual weather wars here. I think like the Levitate war, Ghost War between Mischievous and Gengar is pretty funny. I don't know what Mischievous could do against Gengar. I don't know what Gengar can really do with Mischievous. It'd be pretty funny. I feel like Mischievous has. I don't know if Mischievous learns Thief or not, but I feel like it has the space to do that against Gengar. And it's last week, so bring Doubt Caddy and bring Pilot Swan, you cowards. So, I mean, I'm very biased because I'm gonna go get ice cream with Maki, but I'm just gonna give this win to Maki, and because I think Faith could definitely she could just open up Maki's team, but I believe in Maki. I believe in Maki just getting drunk 3 minutes before this game and just winning somehow. Probably through luck. I don't know. I don't really care. Thank you for watching this. If you care about ADV, leave a comment begging the CDC to do advance again at some point in the near future. Bye.